Okay, so tonight we are going to get started in supine or Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined butterfly. So come all the way down to your back, so one vertebrae at a time. And then soles of your feet to touch, legs out wide. And this is where props would come in handy if you, especially if you have a really sore low back pain. Bringing pillows or blocks underneath your legs here to just allow them to gently open up helps a lot in this pose. So definitely recommend that if you need. But just settle in, find a cozy shape. And once you're there, just either bring your hands to your belly to start paying attention to your breath or down to the ground facing downward. And then close your eyes once you're here. And really just start to tune into your body. So we, had yoga on Monday last week, so it feels like a really long time since we've had yoga class, even though we still practiced last week. So if you're feeling like I am just extra tight tonight, just give yourself some grace. Know that it's been a bit since you were on your mat. So you might need some extra pops tonight. You might need to back off certain poses tonight. Just really honor your body. You'll get the most benefits out of it when you do that. And just really try to stay present here on your mat for the next 60 minutes. So lots going on these days. There's so many other things you could be thinking about or worrying about or thinking, oh, I should probably go do X, Y, Z. But you have signed up for yoga, and this is your time to really unwind, undo, relax, restore, bring yourself back to that neutral state. Try to reset your body from all the stress and other things that we've all been dealing with lately. So just take a moment to really settle in and tune into how you're feeling currently. We often don't pause enough throughout our day to really check in with ourselves. We rush around so that we don't have to do that. I'm so guilty of that. It's so much easier to be busy and to rush around so you don't have to slow down and deal with stuff. But really just allowing yourself the space to check in with yourself and ask, how are you really doing? How are you really feeling? And the answer might surprise you. So just take some time as we start our yoga practice tonight to tune into that. See if you can explore that through our practice tonight. And allow yourself to take a deep breath in, allowing your belly to puff all the way out. Expand it as much as you can. And then on your exhale, imagine that you're bringing your belly button all the way to your spine, allowing your air to fully empty on the exhale. Inhale, belly comes out, fully expanding out. Pause at the top. Full exhale all the way out. By allowing yourself to release all of the stale air and bring in new air, you're bringing in new energy, new life to your body. And so often we shallow breathe throughout the day. We don't even allow ourselves to fully inhale and exhale. So just try tonight to focus on your breath. Bring yourself back to that. If you find yourself, your mind wandering, your thoughts are spinning, or you're just having a hard time getting into it tonight, just try to focus as much as you can on your breath. It will really help relax you and get you into your yoga practice. And it's a technique you can use throughout your day if you're finding yourself having a stressful moment or situation, tapping back into your breathing. See if there's any areas of tension you're still holding onto in your body. So perhaps the muscles in your face, you can relax them a little bit, seeing if you can release your jaw. And if your eyebrows are scrunched up, seeing if you can just relax your forehead a little bit. And then check into your shoulders and see if you can just roll them up and then down your back to just open up your heart space a little bit more, relax your shoulders down. We carry so much stress and tension in our upper body, so just allowing yourself to release that here. And then even check in on your hands. Sometimes you hold tension in your hands by grasping your fist and you don't even realize it. So just see where you can soften and maybe just relax your fingertips a little bit. Wiggling your toes, allowing your feet to relax as well. Feeling the opening that's happening in your hip area, your low back, even the front side of your legs, your knees. Imagining that your knees are sinking down further to the ground on every exhale that you're laying here. Using your breath to continue to soften. You feel a lot of tightness in your hip area or your inner thighs. Just breathe your energy there. Allow yourself to fully sink in. And as a reminder throughout class tonight, in most poses that you might want to change positions in or get a little bit deeper in, I will let you know when we're about halfway through. So I will watch the time for us this evening. So all you have to worry about is finding what feels good to you, and that might be something different than what I'm recommending. And I always encourage you to do your own thing. Just do what feels right to you. So if that looks different than what I'm calling out for, that's awesome. That is yoga. Listening to yourself, honoring yourself. So again, I'm just here to help guide you through or just give you the space to do your own thing. So on your next inhale, take a deep breath in. Full open mouth, sigh out, let something go. Slowly start to close your knees back together like a book. And then you probably want to bring your knees in towards your chest and then just gently rock from side to side. We did a lot of low back opening just then. You might just need to release your low back. Sometimes doing, turning your knees in a circle in one direction and then the other sometimes feels really good on the low back. And when you're ready, start to tee out your arms. And gently start to bring your knees over towards the left side of your mat for a supine twist. So your knees will fall to the left, and this is where you might want to prop in between your knees or underneath your left knee just to help your low back square off to the right side of your mat. And then you'll square your shoulder blades so that both of your shoulder blades are touching the mat. Extend your arms out wide and then start to take your gaze over towards your right fingertips. And then once they've made their way there, just gently close your eyes. And this is always a good one too, where you can bring your left palm to your belly just to feel your belly inhale and exhale. You want to start focusing on breathing. Just find a cozy shape to get into this twist. And you guys know I talk about the benefits of twists every time we get into them, but it's just such a good reminder that you're allowing your inner organs to get a little bit of a gentle massage in this pose, and it also helps with digestion. So I like to throw twists into almost every yoga class. I think they're just so great. If it's this pose or deer pose, I try to always make sure we do some kind of twisting. So on every exhale, just imagine that you're twisting further into this as if you're wringing out a wet towel. And so on your exhale, just see if you can lengthen and open up even more in this twist. And just use your breath here. We won't be holding this forever. We've already started to open up our low back. So you still should feel some opening that's happening here in the low back area, but it shouldn't be as intense since we just did a ton of opening in Supta Baddha Konasana. So just breathe through. Again, use props if you need. Just take some time to tune into your breath, come back to how you're feeling, seeing if only a few minutes on your mat has already helped you. Thinking about what you still need from your practice tonight. Maybe it's letting go of something, making space for something, accepting something. Continue to try to expand your belly on the inhale to make space for new air, new energy to come in, new opportunities. And then on the exhale, just allowing that stuff to leave. We're about halfway through, so if you do need to adjust, please do so. But as you guys know, the more still that you can stay in the pose and try not to fidget, it's so hard to do, especially if you are really used to running around all day or just staying busy. Laying here can seem like an eternity. So just really try to stay still. Use your breath. Think about the lengthening and opening that you're doing in your body right now. And just tune back into your breathing as you start to really sink into the mat to relax as much as you can. Your mind has started to wander, just gently nudge it back. Pay attention to the sensations in your body. Perhaps if you have any tightness in your hip area or low back, just focus your attention there. Seeing where you can soften just a little bit more. Using your breath to get you through the rest of this pose. Take a deep breath in. Full open mouth, sigh out, let something go. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Then just take a moment to rock from side to side, taking any movement that would feel good to you here to release your low back. And then we are just going to swap that out to the other side. So when you're ready, tee out your arms. And roll your shoulders on your back. And then you'll just start to gently drop your knees over towards the right side of your mat. And double check on your left shoulder blade. It may have popped off of your mat. Just see if you can rotate your upper body to allow it to touch back down. And you might, again, want a prop here underneath your right knee and between your knees, just to really help open you up in this twist. And when you're ready, just bring your gaze to your left fingertips and then softly close your eyes once you make your way there. And this side is going to feel a lot different than the other side. You might have more tightness here. You might feel a lot more open. Perhaps this side feels really good compared to your other side. Whatever that is, just sit with it, accept it, know that our bodies are so different, and each time you come to your mat, you're gonna have a different experience. It all depends on what you did that day, what you didn't do that day, how your week looks, how active you've been or inactive, what other stuff is going on in your life, how much tension and stress you're carrying around with you. So just accept where you're at tonight and just know that, next time you do this pose, it may, again, be a completely different experience. Just breathe in, meet yourself where you are. Back to how you're feeling tonight. Checking in with yourself. Our answer when someone asks, how are you, is usually, I'm fine, how are you? And are we really fine all the time? I don't think so, and that's probably the answer that we often give ourselves, like, oh, it's fine, I'm fine. But when you really check in with yourself, you might not be fine, or you might be great, stuff might be going really well right now. So, and that's something to pause and to celebrate and to really allow yourself to feel good, and whatever that is. You might be really happy in certain areas of your life, and that's great. So just allowing yourself to have gratitude over the things that are going well, and then just recognizing and honoring almost the things that maybe aren't going so well, and instead of just stuffing them down, suppressing them, storing them in our hips and in our shoulders and everywhere else when we're in yoga poses and we're like, oh yeah, that's where that stressful thing went. Just acknowledging that you might be feeling a certain way about stuff, and that's okay too. We're already more than halfway through on this side, so you might need to adjust, but if you don't, try not to fidget. Even just like moving your fingers and taking your gaze to somewhere else, or opening your eyes even, or just, moving around a little bit. Just really try to stay still. And when you find that your mind wanders to another place, just try to nudge it back. That is practicing mindfulness. So even noticing that you're drifting off into other thoughts is mindfulness, believe it or not. It's not the act of, the fact that, oh man, I started thinking about other things, I'm not being mindful. That's not it at all. It's going to happen all the time. But being able to recognize that you've drifted off and bringing yourself back to what's happening on your mat, that is huge. That is mindfulness, and something that we can all practice throughout our day. Being fully present when we're talking to someone, or if we're in a meeting, not doing other things, and just really listening and engaging in conversation and being there. not being on our phones, not scrolling endlessly on social media. It's really trying to be present as much as possible because time goes by so fast, and we're already in October, which is nuts. Mid-October. The year is almost over, which I know it's felt like an eternity since, this year has just been crazy, but just think about that, how much time it's already passed. How long you guys have been doing yoga with me. Some of you since I started, which was, gosh, I don't know, March, April. So long ago. So just think about that too. How long you've been doing yoga, how much you've been dedicated to your practice this whole time. Take a deep breath in. Big, open mouth, sigh out, let something go. Bring your knees into your chest. And then just rock again from side to side, loosening your lower back. Taking any organic movements that you might need. And when you're ready, just slowly start to make your way back up to a seated position. And we are going to do Matt's favorite pose, seated forward fold. And I'm being sarcastic, Matt hates these, but they're so good for you. So grab onto your props. You guys know the drill, but you'll probably need a couple pillows, a couple blocks or books. Stack them up in any way that you see fit. You might want to move the fleshy part of your seat to the side just to get ground your sits bones firmly on the mat. And then when you think you might have everything in a good spot, inhale, take your arms up, your gaze up. Exhale, start to reach towards the front of your space. Don't even focus on your toes yet. Just reach as much as you can. And then once you really can't reach any further, that's when you can release down to your props. And just bring your forehead or the side of your face even, might feel good. And when we're halfway through, you can switch it out to the other side. So just finding a shape that you can hang out in and for a little bit here while we really open up our hamstrings, our low back. This pose also offers us an opportunity to reset our parasympathetic nervous system. So if you're super anxious like me, I am just a wired anxious person. I need forward folds in my life as much as I also don't enjoy them. They're really calming and soothing when you just relax into them as much as possible. So use your breath here. Really try to slow down your breath enough so that you can get into this. And on every exhale, just imagine that your chest can come down even further towards your thighs, which may seem impossible right now. You're like, I have 25 pillows in between me and my thighs. There's no way I'm getting anywhere near them. Probably true, but on every exhale, you might find that you're getting deeper into this. And when we're halfway through, you can even adjust your props a little bit sometimes, depending on how much opening you've done already in your low back. So be patient with yourself, use your breath here. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and just try to breathe through the next couple minutes in this forward fold. And believe it or not, we're already halfway through. So you can adjust your props if you need. If you put one side of your face down on your pillow, just switch that out to the other side just to stretch out your neck in a different direction. And then settle back in if you've made any adjustments. Closing your eyes, getting back into your breath, and just allowing yourself to rest here as much as you can. Take a deep breath in. Full open mouth, sigh out, let something go. Very slowly on your next inhale, start to make your way back up to a seated position. And then just move whatever props you use off to the side. And bring your palms behind you with your fingertips facing your glutes. Bend your knees and then windshield wiper your knees from side to side just to loosen up your low back. And then we are going to head down to our bellies. So down to your belly. And we are going to do some broken wing tonight. So you'll tee out your arms, you'll bring your chin down to the mat. And then just bring your left palm in towards your chest. And once it's there, you'll just start to roll onto your right shoulder. And this might be enough once you're rolled onto your shoulder here. If you want more, you can take your left leg behind you as kind of like a kickstand where your left foot is planted on the ground, your left knee is up, facing up. And then you can just rest your head down, keeping your left palm towards your chest. And just try to close your eyes and breathe through. This is a very intense shoulder opener. So you might want to do thread the needle instead if this is too much for you. But most of us are likely on computers all day. I know we're all on our phones. This really helps undo a lot of the slump asana is what we call it in yoga, but the being hunched over our devices all day. We also tend to store a lot of tension in our shoulder, upper back area. So this is an opportunity to release some of that. So it should be intense, but not painful. And if you're feeling intense pain, definitely back off of this, come out, come into something that is not causing any pain at all. This should be a very intense stretch, but again, not painful. So listen to your body, breathe in. Know that this is a very difficult pose and most people don't like it at all, but when you get out of it, it feels really good. So just use your breath here. We won't be here forever. Close your eyes. Use your breath. And we are already halfway through this side. So just try to breathe in. Try not to move, try not to fidget. Thinking of all the space you're creating in the front side of your body. Allowing your shoulder to really actually stretch out and adding some mobility to our shoulder area. Getting into and out of this pose is often the worst part. The anticipation of broken wings sometimes is a lot. Just knowing that it's an intense stretch and just getting into it can be a challenge. And then once we get out of it, it's really almost difficult to move your arm and shoulder after getting out of it because you've just been compressing it so much in this pose, and so it just feels really intense to get out of it as well. But hopefully while you're here in the middle, that you can find some kind of peace and, you know, coming back to your breath and just breathing through and knowing that we're not going to hold this forever and that you're doing so much good for yourself. Just trying to find that. And when you're ready, we are going to slowly make our way out. So most of us will come back to our belly and then just really try to slowly bring your arm back in towards your body, and that might feel intense. You can come onto your left forearm, and then you can extend your right arm to the front of your mat, to the back. You might do some shoulder circles in one direction and then the other, just bringing some movement and blood flow back to this side. Again, it usually feels pretty intense. So just take your time, take what you need here. And then we're just gonna switch that out. So you'll tee up your arms again, bringing your chin down to the mat. Start to bring your right palm in towards your chest. And then when you're ready, just start to roll over onto your left shoulder. And again, if you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can bring your right leg behind you to kickstand it, and then bring the left side of your face down to the mat. And if you need, you can always bring it down to a pillow or something, blanket, whatever you can find here. But just try to relax in, breathe in. This side is horrible for me because I'm a lefty, so I'm guessing the right side was really bad for you guys. So hopefully this side's a little bit easier, unless you're a lefty like me, sorry. Use your breath. And we are halfway through the side, so just breathe in, come back to your breath. Again, try not to fidget, stay still, close your eyes, just breathe in. Take a deep breath in, big sigh out. Then slowly start to make your way out of this side. And the hardest part, bringing your left arm back in towards center. Oof. And then send it forward and back. Then some shoulder circles in one direction and then the other. Again, just whatever feels good to you. It's going to look different for all of us. So take your time here. And then we're going to stay on our bellies and we are going to come into frog. So if you'd rather do sleeping swan or pigeon, go for it. But if you're ready to do frog tonight, we are going to goal post our arms out to the side. And then just start to slide your left knee in towards your left elbow till it's about a 90-degree angle. And then dig your right toes into the mat, lift your right hip off of the mat, and then just nudge it about an inch or two over towards the right, just to really get into the left side here. And then you can place either your left or right side of your face down to your mat. Just relax into this a little bit. Close your eyes. It might feel good to bring a pillow underneath your face if you want to be propped up a little bit more. You can always bring your arm there to make a pillow as well. So whatever feels good to you, just honor that. And we've been doing a lot of openers in our hips already tonight through various poses. So this might not be as intense, but we do still hold a lot of tension here. So just breathe in, tune into how you're feeling tonight. Seeing what you can let go of to make space for other really good stuff. And hopefully by this point of your practice, you've started to slow down your breathing. So paying attention to your breath, seeing if you can lengthen your inhales and your exhales, just to really help you get into that relaxed state, and seeing where you can unwind a little bit more, and being present here on your mat and just focusing on your yoga practice. This is the only thing that you should have your attention on, and so you're not thinking about other stuff or worrying about other things, and just really your opportunity to allow your body to just relax finally throughout the day. It's been waiting, it just has been wanting to rest, and you're allowing that to happen. And we're more than halfway through the side already, so seeing where you can continue to soften, where you can really rest in, knowing that things are going to be okay. Take a deep breath in. Big sigh out, let something go. On your next inhale, start to make your way out and extend your left leg back to meet your right. You may feel inclined to windshield wiper your legs from side to side if you want to open up your low back. And then we're just going to swap that out to the other side. So you'll go post your arms again. Start to slide your right knee in towards your right elbow until it's about at that 90-degree angle. Dig your left toes into the mat, lift your left hip off, and then try to nudge it about an inch or two over towards the left. And then just come down to either the left or the right side of your face, or if you're on your pillow or whatever, just get cozy there. And then just close your eyes and breathe into this side. And this side, again, is going to feel so different. So honor that. Send breath in any areas of tightness, allowing yourself the space and time to continue to open up. more halfway through the side. So make adjustments if you need, but if you can, stay still. Continue to use your breath here. Just really, again, focusing on lengthening your inhales and your exhales as you're laying here on your belly. Trying to relax as much as possible. Take a deep breath in. Full sigh out to let it go. Extend your right leg to meet your left. And then just come up to all fours. And we're gonna take child's pose. So knees out wide, hips width, or mats width distance apart, toe tips to touch, sink down to your heels. And then make any adjustments that you need with your lower body. And then start to crawl your upper body out to stretch out into this child's pose. Finding a shape that is comfy to you. So sometimes you take more of an active child's pose, but really try to rest your forearms down on your mat and then bring your forehead down to either the mat or a pillow, whatever is accessible to you, maybe a rolled up blanket. But just taking some time here to touch down, to use your breath, to really stretch out your upper body and also your lower body at the same time. Closing your eyes. You're holding on to tension in your upper body, just roll your shoulders on your back and really try to relax into this as much as possible. And you can always take embryo here instead. So if the hip opener is too much, if you're just like, I'm done with opening up low back and hips, you can always bring your knees together, resting your chest over your thighs, and then coming down into an embryo shape. So it's just a little bit of a gentler opener here if you need a little bit of a break from opening. We are more than halfway through, so just use your breath here to really sink in. So on every exhale, just imagine that you're sinking more into your mat. You're melting your torso into your mat, and you're lengthening your inhales and your exhales just to really relax and get into this pose. Take a deep breath in. Big sigh out, let it go. Slowly start to make your way out. Coming back to all fours, and you might just want to sway your hips from side to side. And then come down, make your way down to your back. We are coming to our final resting shape, so if you want to take Shavasana with legs up the wall, you can make your way there now. But wherever you want to take your Shavasana tonight, just start to extend out. So bring your arms out with your palms either facing down on the ground or down on your belly. Sending your legs up the wall or stretched out on your mat into a wide V. And then just take note of any areas of tension as you're lying here. So close your eyes if you haven't done so already. And then just check in with your muscles in your face, seeing if you can soften any areas of tension, releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth and relaxing your jaw. Maybe you roll your shoulders down your back. Loosen up any areas of tension in your fingertips. Allow your toes to fall to either side just to really relax your lower body here. And on your next exhale, just allow yourself to enjoy a few minutes of complete rest. Continue to rest here in Shavasana as long as you need tonight. You're in your space, you can continue to relax, reset, just coming back to your breathing. Take that time if you're just feeling like you want to stay still. Tune out the sound of my voice and continue to rest. But if you would like to be gently guided out so that you can make your way to bed or just finish up a few things before you head there, start to slowly bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. And then very slowly make your way to either side for a brief stop in fetal position. Just closing your eyes once you're there. Imagining all the space that you created in your body tonight, all the things that you've let go of. And then very slowly on your next inhale, start to make your way to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Bring your hands to your heart center and then just softly close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth, sigh out, let something go. Breathe in something amazing, something that you still need for your week. Breathe out something you no longer need. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope you all sleep well and have a good rest of your week. Namaste.